So the new update is out now for the Korean server. There's a bunch of changes we've got to go through, including a shop rework. The ability to actually remove the tattoos from this outfit. There's the new Lucky Mystic Portal event we've got to look at. And indeed, Archboss weapon buffs. And in some cases, kind of a nerf. So let's jump into the details. Just be aware this is the Korean server. Things are open to change and could differ for us in global. However, it has already been confirmed via the IOS Elysium and Tico Talks that we are indeed getting the new Illusion Workshop, the ability to change the appearance of all your different armor slots here, but you are required to purchase these Illusion Scrolls. And we are also indeed getting the trait resonance changed, so it'll be awful lot cheaper in order to get these traits and to even select the one you want. But first, let's jump to the changes to the Talandre Fields Boss weapons and Archboss weapons in order to give them a bit more of a balance. They've gone ahead and buffed up the Daigon Sword. This thing was sorely underperforming, and so you can see they've improved its effect. After using Whirling Strike for 6 seconds upon landing a shield strike, you'll grant an 80% chance to fire a whirling shield projectile that deals 135% of base damage. This is ultimately a damaged, focused sword and shield. It doesn't really reflect the meta, and so it's super cheap. And I don't think this buff will really change that. But then there's the Deluzhnoa Sword. It got some extra benefits with its bonus. Now it will have its damage boosted by 50% against monsters, and when successfully hit, the damage reduction is increased by 3 for 5 seconds, stacking up 10 times. So you could gain 30 damage reduction through this. You can again see the difference here on global. I still don't see this being too useful. The Daigon will beat it in terms of doing damage, and in PvP, at least large scale, everybody's just running the Bulwark of Invulnerability with the Chain Hook to group enemies together. Then we have Deluzhnoa's Daggers. They simply now have the bonus of reducing Phantom Smokescreen's cooldown by 30%. It's usually a pretty long cooldown ability, so that will be useful, and otherwise, the buff simply just makes it better at what it does, which is locking down a target by petrifying them while you focus on other targets, and you also get the invulnerability then by standing still within that smoke screen. It can be useful for certain plays, and this just makes it a bit more powerful. I would only really use it in, say, arena or small scale. Then your Deluzhnoa Longbow. This is also getting improved. It will reduce your Arrow Vortex's cooldown by 30%, have its damage increased against monsters by 50%, and the height at which you can raise enemies up is adjusted to 2.5 meters. Not displayed in the tooltip here, but it is in, say, the description. It also has the ability to make people go up in the air twice if you weren't aware. It can be useful, but in only certain situations. And then there's the Deluzhnoa Staff, which they've kind of gone and nerfed. They've pretty much just gone and improved the cast time by 50%. That's huge, that's great. It'll take half the amount of time to actually get this thing cast, so you barely need to stand there at all. However, they've gone and stripped away the cooldown speed. It now has 10 perception instead. This is good for PvP, but bad for PvE. If they want this staff to be useful in PvE, they should have simply switched out the range. But it seems they're trying to make it better just for PvP. Which is unfortunate if you bought it for PvE, because it has very good damage. The only drawback is that those 18 meteors are spread out over an even larger area versus your normal Hellfire raid. And honestly, they could improve this for PvE by adding a specialization which could allow the area to be smaller, or even all on the one target. And that's ultimately it for the weapon changes and balancing. I don't really see this impacting it too much. The weapons will still do what they were going to do, just a little bit better now with, say, reduced cooldowns, and the Deluzhnoa staff becoming a lot more viable in PvP with much faster cast time and perception. The issue is it's trying to be an area of effect damaging ability, but then it has to compete with Queen Belandir, which just does it far better. The only real reason you would use this is for the slow effect and the ability to cause healing reduction on anybody you hit. But now let's have a look at the shop update. It's pretty cool and honestly looks a whole lot cleaner. When you click on a new product for the first time, at least with this outfit, it showed that preview scene, which I showed at the intro of the video. It's going to be male or female depending on your character. And then, yes, you can see the overall setup here is completely different. You can zoom in and out of your character better. You can ultimately inspect and view the entire outfit an awful lot easier, along with the other items too. You can still click view more and see it in like the mirror boutique here. And that leads us on to the new illusion workshop, which is only going to have a certain amount of different armor pieces that you can switch out, but does seem quite extensive. You're going to have to look through it yourself, but it's ultimately armor pieces that we are familiar with in the game. There we go. We can see what the whole Oblivion Wrath set would look like. That's at least one neat thing you can do here. But yes, if you actually want to unlock these appearance items, you have to sacrifice gear items that you obtain. So you get that item, then you have this option here to extract it as an illusion, and you can see the cost. This piece requires 3 of these illusion scrolls. This weapon, 6. And a tier 1 item, just 2. So it is a pretty heavy cost when you consider these are priced at 100 Lucent each. But you can get a bit of a discount here. I'm not too peeved about it. Yes, they're heavily monetizing it. I do think it's a bit expensive. But you can simply just avoid using the system. Don't buy these scrolls and they will have to reduce the price. But now let's jump to the new event, which again we will be getting this Thursday. The Lucky Mystic Portal. For 2 weeks every day you can claim 5 of these keys. I believe they moved them to the inventory section, and then I assume I'm going to just have to navigate the world. You're going to need the regular mystic keys. Purchase 5 of those every day. I find a mystic globe, and when I go and use this, I'll get my same rewards, but I'll guaranteed always get a mystic portal. This is just for the event. We can see it just here, and it's a lucky mystic portal, and it will enter you into a specific area. However, it will use a lucky mystic portal key. I am now within the area. It's a bit of a puzzle apparently. This is an excavation event where you must find the buried treasure under the ground. Obtain as much as possible within the time limit. Use the mining explosives to gain even more treasure. We get some mining explosives. Where do we even have to dig? It shows there's like a treasure bag here. We can jump and dig that up. We got a reward, a trait resonance fragment. We have only like 3 minutes within here. Let's see if we press tab, place the bomb. That blows up. That didn't hurt me, but do we get any treasure? Doesn't look like it. But yes, you really don't have a lot of time here. You have some parkour sections. Jump up here to grab this treasure bag. Got an extract stone. Another treasure bag. Another extract stone and some stellarite. We jump up here. This is a mysterious device. Let's go ahead and use it. An anomaly has occurred. Let's see if we can get this. No. These guys are an issue. We need to try and get some mining explosives. We can't morph up. I don't think we're going to be in time. If I go here, I can place it down. We done so. That should blow up and kill all those enemies. Boom. And we should be able to get our big treasure chests. We did. We got our rewards. But then you get teleported out immediately. But we can see everything we have obtained, including some solent. And yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a mini game. You're going to have to do this 5 times every day. The event has come to an end and some Amatoys cheer you on. All you can do is really leave, repeat that 4 more times, and you will do it every day over the course of 2 weeks. Definitely worth doing though, honestly, and you can probably optimize it further to get as many rewards as possible while within there. I believe I have another down here, Mystic Globe, I can activate. We need to find then the lucky portal. We enter this next one. Again, a time-sensitive event, so make sure you're ready. It starts in like 15 seconds. You simply wait. You're in an unknown area. There's no map for here. We'll get some mining explosives here. You are best off just avoiding the enemies if you can. Do your little parkour bits, get your treasure bags. I want to try find a goblin chest. Those are the best. Treasure chests are only like the next tier. This one's free to just dig up. We got a trait unlock stone. We might even be at a set move speed, 820. I don't think I have 820 outside of this. Here's another treasure chest, just 2 ores. We got a speed boost from something, so we need to try get in here to get this goblin treasure chest. Let's put some mining explosives, see if that does anything. It did indeed. Can we grab our chest? Come on, we indeed got it. A lucky chest, a morph or an amatoy. There's another chest over there. We got a speed boost for something again. This is just a little jumping one. Just a normal treasure chest. Trade extracts. You can see on the minimap, these are mining explosives. And these are treasure bags. 10 seconds remaining. Grabbing this one, we got it. And then we're finished. It will show you a results screen. This is everything I managed to pull out. This lucky selection chest. That's interesting. We'll accept this. Check our inventory, and if we open the chest, yes, we can choose one of these. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like any of those amatoys come from field bosses. They look to only be from the dungeons, which most of us will already have. Yes, this guy's from Butcher's Canyon, Death's Abyss, Cave of Destruction, Cursed Wasteland, Tyrant's Isle, and Temple of Slaughter. Maybe they will have better ones, but this was kind of garbage. I'm not overly impressed by the rewards, but it's just a little bit of extra on top for a little bit of effort. But that's it for now. Hopefully this was somewhat insightful, and we'll see you in the next one.